Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. Now, in the last episode, we saw a little war between the Elf nations and the Brown team. The Brown team right here invaded the Lion team, and no border changes were made. However, a large portion of the Brown military went all the way up here, and then they went and formed the officially, which is the Purple team. So that was our first Elf war that we've known. We saw Kenya expanding and then Tanzania and Tanzania forming. That's fun and dandy, but we also have a new orange team forming, and then of course we had the blue Indian team invading the red Bangladesh country, and then they also set up a flank here. So that's what it was. Saw some invasions. We saw the new what's called the new economic alliance over here. It is from the Terrible Union, and then up here we had the Polynesian Empire, and then we had the Iceland volcano, which yeah, well, we're gonna see that the Iceland island be repaired more in this episode. But coming over to the first event, we're gonna look back over here, and that's to setting. Well, first of all, I'm gonna have to change the color of Ireland because I don't really like how it looks. So I'm gonna change it to like a greenish. I like that color a lot actually. See, but anyways, for the economic alliance, a new country will be joining us, and that is going to go ahead and this country right here, the Welsh country. They have been planning to join us for a little bit now, and they finally got their chance to do so, and they did. And these two countries are like getting really close. Not as close as, well, no, these guys are not as close as these two countries. They are getting really close, and it seems like a possible union in the future is plausible. And now for this, Wales will change their their ideology to a flawed democracy. They say they're a regular democracy, but they're really just a flawed one, as there are some rules placed which are not very fair. And that is going to do it for our ideology layer and economic layer for right now. Let's go over here to the Holy Roman Empire. Once again, like I said, if like Sweden invaded one of these countries, like Sweden invaded the Dark country, then all of the Norwegian countries would have to come to the aid of that Dark country. But these countries can invade each other, and that's what we're going to see right now. So the Orange team is not happy about the Lion team having this land up here. So the Orange team is going to go ahead and invade and take it really quickly, and they're going to start pushing down into this Lion country. However, it's very hard to do so, as it is very mountainous in this region, and that's why it's the first time actually thinking about mountains in this series anime. Anyways, seeing that they can get some land, the light blue country over here is going to go ahead and take all of the southern land, and then because why not? This blue country will also invade take the rest of it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. So taking a look at this peace treaty, the blue team will annex all of the southern province right here. The dark blue team will annex all of this northern province, and then this province right here will be annexed by the orange team. So there we go. And now the Norwegian, fully Norwegian Empire is looking a little bit better. By the way, these guys are all fly same vision. I mean, yeah, it's kind of just over here to Sweden, we can see that this island or Iceland, we can see that this island has been expanded upon again. The mountains are clearing up, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but the sea levels over here are decreasing, and it looks like Iceland going to be going back faster than it actually has, or it was expected to be. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And Iceland has finally bring back to where it can fly. So, the problem with this though is that this island is pretty much useless, especially over here. Iceland is pretty much useless. It only now has one major city on it. This province over here in Bars. I'm gonna go ahead and redo this real quick. Hold on. So yeah, this province right here is pretty much useless. And some of these other provinces start combining with each other because they are not having the best economic uh, thing that happened to them. So there was now only three provinces on Iceland, and yeah, we will take a look at Iceland for the future to see if it can become more valuable. It probably will, but for now, it's just frozen. It's really bad, especially over here. It's pretty much useless over here. Over here, there's a lot more usefulness. But anyways, that is gonna do it for Iceland for this episode. Probably a little bit because over here looking over here in Central Asia, we can see that this yellow country is becoming an expansionist team. So they're gonna go ahead and start their invasion of Cape Country. So they will move over here in the southern area specifically, and they're gonna do pretty well. They start moving into the southern province right here, and they capture all of it. And the next thing they're gonna go ahead and do is focus on this major city. So they move up in the southern areas, take this whole province, and then they're gonna start encircling this major city from two sides, and eventually they capture the whole thing. From here, they move in from the north west area, and they start approaching the capital from two sides, and eventually it's just not looking good for this pink country and their capital when they get captured. And after that, this country is going to go ahead and surrender, as it probably should. And let's go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. Oh, I'm not surprised. But yeah, they get fully annexed. Anyways, the Yellow team have been expanding. However, they are getting very, very, very unstable. They are receiving trade routes, and let's go ahead and update the trade routes right now. So over here in Africa, the trade route has finally went through this purple team's capital, and it had gone through the red one. However, it stops right here. The yellow trade route is increasing and is going along the Caspian Sea. However, their workers are not having a good time, and it seems like it's not good. The Ottomans have also put us the ground team, and is now going over all the way to the Cyan team, the gold team, and eventually it does reach India and reach India capital. But it will stop right there as the trade routes are getting a little too big for needy. Anyways, this trade route right here is also going to go ahead and expand throughout Morocco. And this trade route right here will also expand. And it will, it will become one. And, yeah, so now Sweden and the rest of Europe are fully connected to the trade route. Another water trade route has happened, and that is to connect, Ireland, and they do that. But anyways, that will be all for the trade routes in this episode. Let's go ahead and check out that and have some more exploration and some more expanding. So coming over here to the Southeast Asia there, the orange team and the blue team have been putting in some work, and they discovered pretty much all of Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, and they're gonna stop right here as it's getting too hard for them to explore these regions that are barely mapped out. They do explore the seawater just a little bit though, not too much. Let's go ahead and take a look at the claims. So, the claim for this orange country actually won't be too much. Will only the small piece of land right here. While the blue team is going to claim a large amount of land, and it's probably too big for them. And yeah, they claim all of that. When the blue team is starting to get a little too big for themselves, they are benefiting off of trade, but they are just getting too big. And it seems like a civil war is imminent in the future. Bring it back to the yellow team. They will continue to expand. And like I said, it is getting a little too big for them for expansion. However, they will continue doing it because they want to be a very large country. And they're kind of rivaling Russia. So Russia's going to do the same thing to extend along the yellow team's border. And they do it pretty nicely. And until they're going to keep doing it until they reach something that looks like this. And to go ahead and fill in that. Coming over here to this modern day Russian island, the Russians will go ahead and land on it, and they capture the whole thing for themselves. And the Russians are starting to get pretty big, and they're going to go ahead and create their own military alliance. Now, there is two military alliances in the world, the being the Triangle Alliance and then the Squares, and they don't want to be a part of any of these because they don't like the Ottomans and they don't like the Swedes. So they're going to create their own alliance, and that is going to go ahead and be the Diamond Alliance. So right there, that is a really big diamond. So they create the Diamond Alliance, and who are they going to be creating it with? They create it with this country right here, the Slovenians, and then also the Lime team right here because they want to create a blockade of the Square team so they don't get past here. While the Triangle Alliance is going to get a new member, and that new member is going to go ahead and be the Genoan country. So, yeah. And people are really pressuring the Brown team to pick a side. They are a military dictatorship. Um, but people are pressuring them to join the side, but they don't like any of these sides. They don't like the Slovenians because they don't like the Romp or the Diamonds because they're on the Slovenians on their side. They don't like the triangles because the Genoans on their side. And then they don't like the squares because, Sicily, Albania, the Ottomans. They don't like those people. So yeah, this is a new Diamond Alliance. It is a counter. And we can see actually one more country joining that. And that is actually, surprisingly, gonna go ahead and be, if I can click on the right thing, it's gonna go ahead and be this Egyptian country right here. And they are also, they're gonna try to get Cyprus, but yeah, so this rhombus, or this Diamond Alliance, is growing rapidly, and it is becoming a popular alliance around the world, and you can probably see it expand. Coming over here to the green team, remember they had a big civil war where the blue team took a little bit of land on the red team, got it to the parents, and so did the students first. Well, they're experiencing another rebellion, and this time it is in this area right here. It's really for no specific reason, but they are receiving a lot of rebels in this area. And the green team, they're gonna try to fight this. They're gonna really try to fight this, but it's not going well. Anyways, like I was saying, the region is really gonna try to fight this because it's not good. They do not want to experience this big Pacific War, but it's just not good enough as the brown team managed to capitulate this whole area. Actually, before they capitulated, the blue team will go ahead and make an invasion, and they will start to take a little bit of this land. In fact, they take pretty much most of it until the brown team takes the rest of it. And now without that front, the brown team can just focus on the main front, and that is pushing up into the coastal regions. And yeah, so this country's about to collapse. And yeah, that's further proven with the invasion from Tunisia. They start invading to the northern area, and they actually take the capital. And after a little bit more invasion, the green team will go ahead and surrender. Let's go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. So, taking a look at this peace treaty, we can see that this happens. So, let's go to Tunisia. They're gonna take all of this land. Nope, not all of that. All of this land, and then they also take this province, this part of the province here. Take that bit of land, and then they take this. The rest of their occupied lands will go to the brown team, of course. The blue team is gonna go ahead and get all of this, and their occupied land, they're going to go ahead and go to the brown team. So, this new brown team exists. And they're going to be changed to a little bit more of a darker brown to make it look better with the region, so like something like that. And then their capital is going to go ahead and be at this major city right right here actually. And yeah, so that's their capital. Yeah, so that's a new nation in Africa, but also one less, so nations are not going to stay. There are more events in this video. We can see that more of the Atlantic is being explored, and it is going pretty well for these nations as they start to explore a lot of the Atlantic Ocean. I was about to say Atlantic Sea, but yeah. So more of these waters around Africa start to be explored, and their Africa itself start to be explored into the Western Sahara region. And yeah, so we're gonna see a claim made by the Moroccans, and that claim looks like this. So they will take all of that land, and we can see that these nations all across the globe are starting to expand rapidly. Anyways, coming over here to Southeast Asia, a new green team will form up in the southern area. Now, this green team has really good relations with the orange team, and a new nation that is about to also pop up in this region, and we'll take a look at that. And that new nation is a little brown team right here. They also have good relations with the orange team. And we can take a look at the division of Southeast Asia real quick. And yeah, let's take a look at that right now. Well, at least the division of Southern Southeast Asia, or just Cambodia and a little bit of Vietnam. So, taking a look at this division of this Cambodian area, the orange team will get all of that. The brown team will get all of this, and then the green team will get a good chunk of land due to the fact that the brown team has a lot of potential up north, and yeah, so the green team will get this amount of land, and they do have interest in looking more at the sea or looking more and exploring the sea. So if I can click the right tolerance, it'd be good, but Anyways, I can't click the right tolerance. Is it good now? Yeah, it's good now. So they will explore a lot of these Southeast Asian ocean waters right here. And so yeah, this episode was pretty interesting. A lot of things happened with the rebirthing process, the economic alliance and the British Isles, the ocean expanding. But next episode we are going to see two major civil wars happen, and you guys can go ahead and guess what those two countries have been. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do this video. Hope you guys enjoy. Good. Bye.